It's hard to see scale like this and believe these things were built by human hands. Today, we're going to be showing you structures that both defy gravity and common sense. Want to discover the secrets behind the boldest megaprojects on the planet? Then, let's go! The Eye of Sauron could see all of Middle-earth, but the world's largest 500-meter radio telescope, also known as the Eye of Heaven, can see even farther, out into space. The instrument observes radio-emitting stars, and of course, searches for signals from extraterrestrial civilizations. Engineers used 4,450 perforated aluminum panels to make this possible, and to avoid bending them, builders had to work with jeweler-like precision down to the millimeter. No wonder it took 5 years and $450 million to build the FAST. Because of its enormous size, residents of the surrounding villages had to be relocated into more than 1,000 newly purchased homes, adding another $270 million to the $180 million construction cost. Hopefully, all the effort pays off, so we can prove we're not alone in the universe. But maybe we shouldn't. China built the longest wall in history, and then decided to build the longest bridge in the world. The Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge stretches 55 kilometers, and it's also visible from space. This massive infrastructure project includes 2 sea crossings, 3 suspension bridges, 2 underwater tunnels measuring 6.7 kilometers each, and 4 artificial islands. The bridge required 420,000 tons of steel, about 60 times the weight of the Eiffel Tower. It's designed to withstand typhoons reaching 340 kilometers per hour and earthquakes up to magnitude 8. Its estimated lifespan is 120 years. That said, the $20 billion price tag won't pay itself off even in that time. But scale has never been China's weakness. Someday, future generations will look at Turkey's massive Yusufeli Dam and come up with theories about how humans even managed to build something like this. Constructing a dam in the mountains as tall as the Eiffel Tower, 275 meters, was simply unrealistic. So, engineers started by drilling 2,420 meters of spiral tunnels and building the necessary infrastructure. Only after that did they begin the dam itself, using more than 5.8 million cubic meters of concrete and around 70,000 tons of steel, turning Yusufeli into the largest engineering project in Turkey. The dam holds over 2 billion cubic meters of water, and its energy output is enough to power several cities, or one massive megacity, or honestly, the Death Star. There's an unwritten rule that a country's symbol of independence should be tall. Malaysia clearly took that seriously. The Merdeka 118 rises 678.9 meters into the sky. That's about 7 Statues of Liberty stacked on top of each other. It's the second tallest building in the world after the Burj Khalifa. Because it stands near Kuala Lumpur's historic district, construction had to be extremely precise. Engineers started with a massive circular caisson wall to contain the excavation, then poured the steel structure using ultra-high-strength, highly flexible concrete so the building wouldn't lean under strong side winds like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The facade uses 18,144 glass panels and 8.4 kilometers of LEDs for nighttime lighting. And voila! The 118-story eco-friendly skyscraper is ready. If you've ever wondered why Rotterdam hasn't turned into Venice, here's the answer. The city is protected by the Delta Works, the largest flood defense system in the world. It consists of 13 sections stretching 9 kilometers, with 62 massive movable gates capable of stopping powerful storm surges. Thanks to this system, floods like the disaster of 1953 will never happen here again. The gates open and close using a locomotive connected to a 30-meter guiding tower. The entire structure is so reliable that it's designed to handle climate changes all the way up to the year 2200. That's some true European foresight. For 6 years, China watched 8 250-meter skyscrapers rise from the ground and from the Raffle City Chongqing complex. It covers more than 1.1 million square meters, about 150 football fields. It's essentially a city within a city, with offices, hotels, apartments, transportation, and entertainment all in one place. And who says skyscrapers have to be vertical? At a height of 250 meters, this is the largest horizontal tower in the world. From its glass observation deck, you can see where the Yangtze and Jialing rivers meet. The price tag on this architectural miracle was a staggering $4.8 billion. Digging a 3.2-kilometer road tunnel through limestone mountains is like waking up a sleeping giant that can collapse on you at any moment. That's why building the Belgian Tunnel in Switzerland felt like playing an extremely high-stakes game of Jenga. To bore the second tunnel, engineers built an entire factory underground. This massive 40-meter tunneling wheel cuts through about 2 meters of rock per cycle, and right after that, 7 concrete ring segments are installed to reinforce the tunnel walls. Meter by meter, the team finished everything in just 16 months, which, considering the complexity, is almost Flash-level speed. Jack Sparrow never would have found the Black Pearl if he had left it in the port of Singapore, the largest maritime hub in the world. The port stretches an unbelievable 15.5 kilometers, which is enough to walk the entire coastline of Monaco 5 times. The traffic here is non-stop, like Times Square, but with ships. Over 130,000 vessels pass through the port every year, with one arriving or departing every 2 to 3 minutes. Singapore handles around 50 million tons of cargo a year. That's like transporting 200 Empire State Buildings. I don't know how my tiny packages from Asian online marketplaces don't get lost. Would you believe the Three Gorges Dam is so massive it's visible from space? It's the largest hydroelectric power station in the world, built on China's Yangtze River. The structure stretches 2.3 kilometers across and rises 185 meters high. Construction required 27 million cubic meters of concrete. That's about 11,000 Olympic swimming pools filled to the brim. The project isn't just about size, it's about practicality. Ships cross the dam using the world's largest ship lift, rising 113 meters in about 40 minutes. You won't be shocked to learn that the dam holds 39 billion tons of water and generates roughly 10% of China's electricity. And surprisingly, it even affects time! The sheer mass of water slightly slowed Earth's rotation, making our days longer by 0.06 microseconds.
What a twist!
The title of the most creative megaproject easily goes to the Tetris-style condominium, the Interlace, in Singapore. This residential complex has 1,040 apartments made up of 31 blocks stacked on top of each other in an asymmetrical layout. Thanks to this design, residents don't look straight into neighboring buildings, but instead get views of city panoramas and inner gardens. And what about safety? The Interlace is tougher than Superman. The building sits on an ultra-strong platform capable of supporting the weight of 50 houses, along with extensive protection systems against fire, earthquakes, and other disasters. That's why they confidently added pools, theaters, and even a pond, a waterfall, and a bamboo garden. If someone offered you $100,000 to live here for 10 years without leaving, would you agree? Let us know in the comments. This spot could have been used to film this scene with almost no special effects. But what you're looking at isn't a whirlpool. It's the world's largest morning glory spillway, measuring 22 meters across. It's located in the US at Lake Berryessa and helps protect nearby towns from flooding. This isn't just a hole in the water. It's a precisely engineered structure. Beneath the spillway is a 61-meter deep vertical shaft that channels water into a creek behind the dam. When it's not in use, though, it looks like a mysterious portal in the middle of the lake. Would you take a ride on a panoramic elevator up to a height of 326 meters? The world's tallest outdoor elevator, the Bailong Elevator, is located in Zhangjiajie National Park, a place so beautiful it inspired the creators of Avatar. Built directly into a sheer cliff, the elevator carries up to 50 tourists and delivers them to the park's most scenic area in just 1.5 minutes. If your fear of heights is too overpowering, there's always a 3-hour hike to the same spot. The construction of the 2.5-kilometer Gordie Howe International Bridge can only be described as engineering games with gravity. This is the longest cable-stayed bridge in North America, connecting Michigan and Ontario, and it has no supports in the river at all. Construction took place simultaneously on both sides of the border, with the two halves eventually meeting precisely above the water. When it came time to install the final 11-meter segment, engineers discovered they were short by just 15 centimeters. Instead of reworking the structure, they used hydraulic jacks to shift the Canadian side of the bridge, something that had never been done before. I'd say that deserves a like. Today, the bridge operates successfully and has reduced traffic congestion by about 35%. Imagine driving down a highway while a yacht floats over you. No, you haven't lost your mind. It's the Velevermeer Aqueduct in the Netherlands. It's essentially a bridge in reverse. Instead of building a road over water, engineers built a bridge for boats and let the road pass underneath. For the 19-meter wide water channel, they used 22,000 cubic meters of concrete along with steel piles. Thanks to this design, boats and cars move smoothly without traffic jams. When intelligent people take on projects, they turn out cheaper, more efficient, and better for everyone. Chinese engineers be like, build a 30-story hotel in 2 weeks? Challenge accepted. That's how the T30 Hotel came to be, built entirely from modular container blocks. Despite the speed of construction, it's strong enough to withstand a magnitude 9 earthquake. The nicest part for both builders and the environment is that there's barely any cleanup, because construction waste is only about 1%. The last thing you expect to see in a hotel lobby is a train. No, this isn't AI generated. It's the Walt Disney World monorail system, stretching 24 kilometers and running straight through the park and Disney's contemporary resort. It's the busiest monorail system in the United States. Every day, 12 trains transport around 150,000 visitors, and they've been doing it for more than 55 years. A huge wow factor for guests, and a key logistics solution for Disney. Seattle took a very different approach. Their monorail takes just 2 minutes from start to finish. It was originally built for the World's Fair as a futuristic attraction to show off the technology of tomorrow. But the route turned out to be so practical that people didn't want to wait for the future. For 64 years now, trains have been running along a 1.45-kilometer elevated track between Seattle Center and Westlake Center, helping reduce traffic in the city. Cooling towers might be the perfect structures for perfectionists, especially ones as massive as this 200-meter tower near the Qinzhou power station. So much metal went into its construction that it would be enough to build around 8,000 cars. But it wasn't wasted. The tower cools the power station's equipment, which supplies electricity to about 1.5 million people. The Hoover Dam is one of the most iconic engineering symbols of the United States, and it was built in the 1930s with remarkable ingenuity. About 2.48 million cubic meters of concrete were used in its construction. If the dam had been poured as a single solid block, the concrete would still be cooling today. It would have taken around 125 years. Instead, engineers built it in a series of columns and embedded cooling pipes inside the concrete. The result is a structure with walls up to 200 meters thick. Inside the dam, it stays cool even when temperatures outside reach 45 degrees Celsius. After more than 90 years, Hoover Dam still supplies power to over 1 million homes across 3 states. And with proper maintenance, engineers believe it could stand for up to 10,000 years. Saudi Arabia has everything needed for a comfortable life, except roads without traffic jams. To solve that problem, the city launched the Riyadh Metro project, the largest fully automated metro system in the world. It includes 85 stations across 6 lines, stretching a total of 176 kilometers. Engineers had to push through extremely tough limestone terrain, so the tunnel boring machines advanced at a rate of only about 550 meters per month. Because of that, construction took 12 years. By around 2028, the Riyadh Metro is expected to carry up to 3.6 million passengers per day, nearly half the city's population, and finally relieve Riyadh of constant traffic congestion. If you ever find yourself on an island in the middle of the sea with no people in sight and only massive robotic machines stacking containers like Lego, you're at the deep water port of Shanghai. It's the busiest container port in the world, connecting more than 600 ports across over 200 countries. The Yangshan Deepwater Terminal was built on an artificial island located 32.5 kilometers offshore and connected to the mainland by the Donghai Bridge, the longest sea bridge built specifically for a port. This was necessary because the Yangtze River estuary is too shallow to handle the world's largest container ships. As a result, almost everything here is automated. Machines work around the clock, allowing the port to move a record 47 million TEU every year. Stack all those containers on top of each other, and the distance would reach from Earth to the Moon. China doesn't have much space, but it has a lot of people, so creativity is a necessity. That's why soccer fields here are often built on rooftops instead of on the ground. Add a tall fence to keep the ball from flying off, and you're good to go. Something tells me that even Ronaldo doesn't have a soccer pitch with a city view, like the one Chinese street players get. There were more secrets surrounding the construction of China's third-generation nuclear reactor, Hualong 1, than around the 5th season of Stranger Things. The project was highly classified, and more than 200,000 people were involved in its development and construction. To produce around 60,000 components, thousands of companies, 75 research institutes, and 14 international organizations worked together, forming a massive chain of coordination. Because very few teams can work as efficiently as the Chinese, construction was completed in just 68.7 months, the fastest build time in the world for a third-generation nuclear reactor. Did you know that Abu Dhabi has its own Louvre, and that many people find it even more impressive than the original in Paris? This isn't just one museum, but an entire museum city made up of 55 separate buildings, all built on water. Its main feature is a massive dome with a diameter of 180 meters and a weight of about 7,500 tons. The dome appears to float above the complex, though it's actually supported by 4 hidden pillars. The structure is made up of 7,850 intricately shaped elements arranged in a complex 8-layer pattern. When sunlight passes through it, the interior fills with a shimmering rain of light reflections. Because the museum is surrounded by water, more than 3,200 steel support piles were installed using ship-style cathodic protection to prevent corrosion. Some might even say this architectural masterpiece is more impressive than the Mona Lisa itself. Let's put a giant beehive in the middle of Manhattan. That's more or less how the idea for the vessel was approved. This 46-meter interactive sculpture is essentially a 16-story workout for your legs, made up of 2,500 staircases with a total length of 1.6 kilometers. It also doubles as an observation structure, offering views of the city from multiple levels. The sections of the vessel were manufactured in Italy, shipped across the ocean to New York, and then transported across the Hudson River. Because of the complex logistics, the project's budget grew from $75 million to $200 million. Even so, the vessel quickly became one of New York City's most recognizable landmarks, drawing tourists and bloggers from all over the world. Have you ever seen a building that looks like it's flowing? Then take a look at the Galaxy Soho. This complex consists of 4 continuous volumes connected by bridges and platforms, with no sharp corners anywhere in sight. The entire structure feels like a single smooth stream. The Galaxy Soho covers 332,000 square meters, which is almost half the size of Central Park in New York. At night, its aluminum and glass panels reflect light in a way that makes the building feel almost alive, like a futuristic flow of energy in the heart of Beijing. The Chengdu Science Fiction Museum may be the only museum in the world whose exterior perfectly matches its name. The design looks like a set from a sci-fi movie, with curved lines, asymmetry, and fluid transitions between spaces. The architects were inspired by the shape of an expanding nebula. Inside, 59,000 square meters are dedicated to an atrium, a theater, galleries, conference spaces, and exhibition halls. As you'd expect from a building of the future, the museum is highly eco-friendly. It uses solar energy, natural ventilation, and rainwater collection systems. Remarkably, it was completed in just 1 year, 4 to 5 times faster than most projects of this scale. Mega projects usually take months or even years to complete, but sometimes every minute counts. In 2024, heavy rainfall breached a dam at Dongting Lake, flooding several villages and threatening a major natural disaster. To seal a 220-meter gap in the dam, workers needed 100,000 cubic meters of stone, delivered by 3,000 trucks every day. More than 4,200 emergency workers operated around the clock, reinforcing 60 to 80 meters of dam per day. Against all odds, the breach was fully closed in just 3 days. Not all heroes wear capes. If I were to claim that the world's tallest bridge, Huajiang, was built by gods, I wouldn't be exaggerating much. It stands an incredible 625 meters as high as 2 Eiffel Towers stacked on top of each other. Its main cable stretches 2,378 meters and is wrapped in 11 protective layers to protect against humidity, corrosion, and even fire. Using satellite navigation, workers positioned 93 truss segments with precision down to the centimeter in just 73 days. For a 1,420-meter span, that's Sonic the Hedgehog speed. Thanks to this bridge, a 3-hour trip for the locals was cut down to just 3 minutes. To celebrate its centennial, Turkey went big and built the world's longest bridge with a span of 2,023 meters. Its 318-meter steel pylons were set on concrete caissons sunk underwater. The total length of its cables could wrap around Earth 4 times. Despite that, the bridge was completed 18 months ahead of schedule, a testament to the secret power of Turkish kebabs. For 9 years, the Duge Bridge in Beipangjang held the title of the world's tallest bridge. It was the first in history to have its road deck soar over 500 meters above the ground. Its core structure consists of a massive steel truss. Engineers lifted it into place in 12-meter sections to speed up the process. All 15,000 tons of steel are supported by H-shaped towers, built section by section using reusable molds and filled with concrete. Gazing upon these massive dimensions, one thing becomes clear: human capabilities are limited only by imagination. To build the new New York Bridge, engineers had to reclaim space from the Hudson River using floating cofferdams, which are essentially enormous bathtubs where concrete foundations and steel supports were built. The 128-meter towers were raised with self-climbing formwork, and for the 645-ton bridge sections, they called in a New York legend, the giant floating crane called I Lift New York. There's plenty of technical talk behind it all, but forget the jargon. Just look at the results. The Pingtang Bridge proudly holds the record for the tallest bridge tower on the planet. It stands roughly the height of a 110-story skyscraper at 332 meters tall. 2 additional towers loom nearby at 320 meters and 298 meters respectively. Because of the region's cold, humid climate, engineers used a special high-strength concrete designed to resist weathering, water, and freezing temps. Basically, the bridge version of wearing a hat, coat, and scarf. Add 2 spans of 550 meters and breathtaking mountain views, and you've got the perfect tourist attraction. If you can't build a bridge over a mountain, build one through it. That's exactly what the creators of the 152-kilometer Luji Anlong Highway did. This region is full of cliffs and rocky ridges that had isolated local communities for decades. So engineers carved their way through with controlled explosions, cutting a path for modern roads to finally reach them. How do you feel about these kinds of radical methods? Share your thoughts in the comments. The Meishan Reservoir Dam is perfect for containing potential floodwaters as well as your admiration. Built in just 2 years starting in 1954, this 88-meter giant features a multi-arch design that was chosen not just because it looks awesome, but because it's actually more effective. Unlike typical dams, this shape distributes water pressure more evenly, increasing its strength and reducing material use. So far, a limited budget has not been a problem. Ever heard of the principle, water controls water? Well, some engineers took that literally and created the Aqua Dam. Think of it as a massive inflatable barrier made from polypropylene, which can be delivered to a construction site rolled up like a giant burrito. The tricky part is unrolling it. The thing weighs around 34 tons. Once in position, it's filled with water through 2 internal waterproof tubes, which give it both structure and durability. It's a clever, low-tech way to stop flooding by fighting water with water. Behold the world's most expensive airport, Beijing Daxing International Airport. A $63 billion aviation cathedral that's reshaping air travel. This masterpiece spans 700,000 square meters of terminal space, making it the largest single-building airport terminal in the world. Nicknamed the Starfish for its distinctive six-arm radial design, this colossal structure features 5 concourses stretching like tentacles from a central hub. 8 massive C-shaped columns support its breathtaking roof, with over 170,000 steel members, creating a stunning geometric canopy. 4 3,800-meter runways handle 300 takeoffs and landings per hour. Witness humanity's most ambitious ecological megaproject, the Great Green Wall, stretching 8,000 kilometers across Africa from Senegal to Djibouti. This $33 billion green revolution is creating a living barrier against desertification using an ingenious system of square frames filled with dry grass that trap seeds and moisture. This initiative has already planted over 11 million trees, showing how even small efforts can spark ecosystems on a grand scale. Monitored by satellites, the 15-kilometer-wide Greenbelt aims to restore 100 million hectares and absorb 250 million tons of carbon dioxide by 2030. A huge step in cooperating with Mother Nature herself. This is Saudi Arabia's $50 billion urban revolution, New Murabba, featuring the Muqab, the world's largest building by volume, with enough space to fit 20 Empire State Buildings inside. This mind-blowing 2 million square meter structure will house 420,000 residents in the world's second indoor climate-controlled city. This huge cube development embodies the 15-minute city concept, where all amenities are accessible within 15 minutes of any residence. The Muqab's facade showcases 1,024 fire-retardant composite panels forming stunning Arabic calligraphy, with 104,000 residential units, 9,000 hotel rooms, and 1.4 million square meters of office space. Construction aims for 2030 completion. Now enjoy beauty! The Katara Towers, twin 211-meter giants that rise like crossed traditional Middle Eastern swords from Qatar's national seal. These 36-story luxury monuments cover 300,000 square meters, housing the prestigious Raffles Doha with 132 suites and Fairmont Doha with 362 rooms. Open for the 2022 FIFA World Cup, these towers represent Qatar's legendary hospitality while achieving 40% energy savings compared to conventional designs. Prepare for Qatar's most ambitious $12 billion mega infrastructure dream, the Shark Crossing, a revolutionary 12-kilometer bridge tunnel hybrid that will transform Doha Bay forever. This combines 3 interconnected bridges with underwater tunnels, featuring the world's largest arch span and a recreational island. The innovative bridge tunnel design minimizes environmental impact while eliminating Corniche coastal road congestion and creating an iconic landmark. Though currently in 3D visualization phase, we eagerly anticipate witnessing the Shark Crossing become a reality in the near future. Welcome to the world's first truly smart railway station, Xiong'an Railway Station. This colossal 475,200 square meter terminal, equivalent to 3 Berlin Central railway stations combined, opened after just 2 years of construction. This 5-floor marvel features automatic ticket verification, intelligent passenger flow management, and seamless smart city integration that eliminates traditional queues and delays. Inspired by Baiyang Lake's water culture, its oval water drop design symbolizes a dewdrop on a lotus. Handling 10,000 passengers simultaneously across 13 platforms and 23 tracks, this energy-efficient station reduces consumption by 50% while serving high-speed trains operating at 350 kilometers per hour. But about the world's first skyscraper to harness wind power, the $150 million Bahrain World Trade Center, where twin 240-meter towers create a wind tunnel. These sail-shaped giants funnel Persian Gulf breezes through 3 massive 29-meter diameter wind turbines suspended on 31.5-meter bridges. Each 225-kilowatt turbine captures 70% of Bahrain's wind energy, generating 11 to 15% of the building's power needs, enough to light 300 homes. This LEED certified project earned 11 innovation awards between 2006 and 2010, proving that skyscrapers can be both beautiful and sustainable. Currently Bahrain's 3rd tallest building, this revolutionary design shows how architecture and renewable energy can work together in harmony. Meet the world's first color-changing stadium, Munich's Allianz Arena, where 2,784 inflated plastic panels create a 66,500 square meter membrane that displays over 16 million colors. This 340 million euro chameleon transforms from FC Bayern's red to Germany's white. Built in just 2.5 years, this 75,000 capacity project features Europe's largest multi-story car park with 10,000 spaces. The innovative ETFE technology not only creates stunning visual displays, but also provides superior insulation and light transmission. As Germany's 2nd largest stadium, the Allianz Arena is now the only stadium that changes with every match. Just look at China's spiraling titan, the Shanghai Tower. This 632-meter charming project twists 120 degrees as it soars through 128 floors, making it the world's 3rd tallest building and China's undisputed champion. This $2.4 billion vertical city encompasses 380,000 square meters of space, featuring 9 cylindrical buildings stacked like a futuristic DNA helix. Its revolutionary double-glass skin system saves $500,000 annually in energy costs, making it the world's largest LEED Platinum certified building. Here's NASA's $26.4 billion ticket to the moon, the Artemis project. This colossal space launch system rocket stands 98 meters tall, weighing 2,608 tons and producing an earth-shaking 8.8 million pounds of thrust. Each launch costs $4 billion and burns 2.76 million liters of super-cool fuel. But its ultimate goal? Establishing a permanent lunar base for Mars missions, making humanity a multi-planetary species. Admire New York's Wings of Peace, the $4 billion Oculus World Trade Center, where architect Santiago Calatrava created a soaring memorial that rises like a dove from ground zero. This 107-meter-long transportation cathedral connects PATH and 12 New York City subway lines while serving over 1 million people weekly. Built with 36,500 tons of steel and featuring a 100-meter operable skylight, this column-free elliptical masterpiece required 612,300 hours of ironwork by 140 specialists. With 33,910 square meters of space, including retail areas drawing 300,000 daily visitors, the Oculus transforms a place of tragedy into a symbol of renewal. It's future Saudi Arabia's $8.8 trillion shimmering mirage, the Line Neom. This mind-bending linear city stretches 170 kilometers long, soars 500 meters high, and spans 200 meters wide. A glass-walled metropolis housing 9 million people. This car-free, carbon-free mirror monument consumes 20% of the world's steel supply, while promising all services within a 5-minute walk. The entire glass exterior reflects the desert while creating a climate-controlled paradise powered by 100% renewable energy. Currently targeting a 5-kilometer segment by 2030, this futuristic wall, spanning 26,500 square kilometers, represents Saudi Vision 2030s. Witness the Alps underground highway revolution, the Brenner Base Tunnel. This €8.4 billion engineering colossus burrows 64 kilometers through solid rock, creating the world's longest underground railway connection. 2 parallel 8.1-meter wide tubes carve through the eastern Alps, moving 21.5 million cubic meters of excavated material. This 230-kilometer tunnel system will slash Innsbruck-Forteza travel from 80 to 25 minutes. And by 2032, this alpine giant will handle 400 trains daily and 500 million tons of freight annually, upgrading European transport from Helsinki to Malta. That's all for now. Have you ever seen any of these megaprojects with your own eyes? Or have you seen even cooler ones? Tell us about it in the comments. Until next time.